Hi, how are ya?
Hi! What do
Oh,
you got there?
matchy jumpers.
Yay! I love it so
Uh,
much.
it's so good.
Hey, book lovers. We are Ellen and Sarah, and this is Besties and Books, where we drink wine, share laughs, and talk all things fantasy. So today we are super excited because we will be reviewing the books that we picked in our TBR jar of
Yay.
April. I was like, which month are we in?
Just say
Of
last
April.
time.
Yeah. And last week we reviewed the Descended series by Ingrid Adams. So this week we'll be reviewing the two books that we read for the month, and that is the Mindf series by St. Abbey and the Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. So we'll start off with the Prison Healer. Sarah's going to give a brief synopsis, and over to you.
Cool. All right. And it's always so exciting because Ellen and I never discuss these books up front. So I'm super curious to hear what she thinks. But if I
Oh,
were
and
to...
sorry, I also forgot to mention this will be entirely spoiler free.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Correct.
over to you.
So if I were to summarize in one or in a couple of words this book, for me it would be nice but beige. I found there were no real highs or lows. Like the characters, the plot, the world building, it was all fine, but it just fell a little bit flat. So we have our female main character is Kiva Meriden. She's been a prisoner in this brutal Zalandov prison for 10 years, and she works there as the prison healer. Kiva's family on the outside have been sending her messages for 10 years, urging her to stay alive because they are coming to save her. I mean, after 10 years, that frustrated me the whole book. Like, come on,
Yeah, me
guys. Like,
too.
where are you? Are you actually coming or not?
Yeah.
Then one day, this rebel queen, whose name is Tilda, is captured, and she's sent to Zalandov in a horrible condition. She's unconscious. She can barely speak. And Kiva, as the prison healer, is sort of told that she needs to keep her alive because she has to attend the trial by ordeal. Now, on her body, Kiva finds a message from her family urging Kiva, you have to keep her alive. And also, we're coming for you, so you stay alive too. So Kiva ends up volunteering in Tilda's place for this trial by ordeal because the rebel queen is not able to do it herself. So she faces the trials. She also is trying to cure a plague that's going through a prison. There's a mysterious new inmate who we sort of not sure if he's going to pose a bit of a romantic interest, and there's some growing rebellion among the inmates. So that is the general synopsis. My first impression, sort of 20% in, was that it was okay. I wasn't bored, but I really wasn't staying up late to get through it. Like, I wanted more. It just was a little bit lackluster. Like I said, the reading for me was fairly monotone. There was no real excitement. The trials were underwhelming. Like, nothing about them. The trials themselves,
Yeah.
the 4 trials. So she faces a air, water, fire, earth. And again, they were all sort of interesting to read, but I wasn't on the edge of my seat at all.
In the beginning, I thought the way that the trials were set up, or the ordeals, it's made very clear, and this is in the synopsis, that no one has ever survived these ordeals. So I was expecting very high stakes, fast-paced, and to be on the edge of my seat. And I agree with you, I wasn't. It was a super easy read for me in saying that.
Yeah, it was
very easy. I think I got a little bit bored midway through, and I was frustrated like you were about the notes from the family. I was just like, why are you holding on to this? Like, they're not coming. The other thing for me is what really bothered me about this book was not getting to know the magic system or the fantasy world. The entire book is set within the prison.
Yeah, and even then within the prison, basically within the infirmary too.
Yeah,
where she
exactly.
Works. Yeah. By the end, I did not care about the plague that was sweeping through the prison that they seemingly couldn't cure. I was like, who cares? You're right. There was very little on the world, the magic building. We sort of learned there was historically 2 ruling families, and each family had sort of like a tendency towards a type of magic, and there's rivalries between the families, and obviously the rebel queen is from one family, and the ruling family that is currently in power is the other family. But we don't really know more than that.
Yeah, totally. And I also didn't feel any chemistry between the romantic interests.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything.
Yeah. Again, it just sort of came across as cute. It was cute and it was sweet and you weren't emotionally invested,
Yeah,
really.
I totally agree. I did like the side characters though. I really
Tip?
liked Tip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was cute.
I loved his character. He made up for a lot for it for me. I even liked Mott's character as well, and Nari the guard. They probably like saved the story a little bit for me. I was really into the side characters. I was more attached to them than I was the main character.
I agree. And I did think it was interesting because Kiva's whole sort of outlook is that she pushes everyone away. She doesn't want to get close to anyone in the prison. And I thought, it's interesting that she has all of these people that are seemingly very drawn to her and want to protect her. And she's sort of done nothing to foster any of those relationships, really. So, more the power to her, I guess. So
I just wanted to say quickly, the one part that really got me though in the book, and because you listened to this on audio, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So in one of the scenes, without revealing too much, the main character is sort of locked in a really dark room. Do you remember that part? In the physical book, when she's locked in that dark room, all of a sudden you read like she's put in the room and then shut the door, and all the pages turn black for like 8 pages.
Oh!
That creeped me out. I thought it was so clever and well done.
No,
because
I missed that completely.
Yeah,
then
it took me off guard.
That makes sense, because then I think when Nari visits her, she thinks she's been there forever, like as in for weeks and weeks, and Nari says, you've only been here for like a day or two or whatever it is, like a very short amount of time. Oh, no, totally missed all of that. And I did wonder, did Tip have a stutter in the book?
He did.
Oh, okay, because he did on the audiobook, and I did wonder, I wonder if this is in the book too, or if this is just an embellishment that they've introduced.
Okay. No. He had a stutter, and I loved it. I loved his character. I loved the stutter. I thought it added to his character.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing that really annoyed me about the trials was that I didn't really feel like Kiva sort of progressed or grew through any of the trials. Like I didn't really feel like there was much development of her character.
Well, she didn't really do anything, did she?
Yeah. Maybe until right at the end. So did the end shock you?
Oh,
or did you guess it?
My God. So I had a guess about 60% through without revealing anything when she starts telling the story of her parents. I had an inkling, but I forgot about it. And so the end, when it came around, I was shook. I was like, wait, what the hell? Did I read that? I had to go back and I'm like, hang on, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Were you the same?
Yeah. But I actually the ending actually in my mind, well, initially it bumped up my rating for this book because I was so blown away by it. But then the more I thought about it, there were parts of it I loved and parts I did not love. So there's sort of 2 big reveals at the end. One is to do with, I guess, more external, like her family, and one's more internal about herself. Sort of the external one, that came as a total shock, and I loved that. And I actually was thinking about it for a few days. But the second one, that's more internal about things she can do, actually really bothered me because it put the whole book in another light. I just thought, you could have done everything differently and you chose not to. And then I saw her as a bit heartless and emotionless. And I was just like, I almost think you're a sociopath, because so much of the book went in her head, and you know what she's thinking because you're just hearing her think it. And yet the ending to still come as a surprise, I think, was she in denial herself? Like it just made me almost go, man, this chick is a psycho. Like this is, I don't know. So I want to read the second book just to sort of like in my own head resolve
read the second book.
like resolve what her character is, because I just go, this is just so weird, like in a good way, weird.
I loved the ending. I agree. The internal part for me, I was like, what the hell? But at the same time, I don't think I'd change it. I don't know. The shock factor was really there for me. I don't know if I'd change anything about that ending.
Did you get it? Did it change how you felt about her as a character? Like, did you get the same?
Yeah, I loved
like,
her.
oh God, is she like a psycho now?
Yeah, and I liked that. I liked I love being shocked. I find
Yeah, I
myself
agree.
guessing a lot of stuff, and I did not see this coming at all. And so it made me like her more because I felt like she has more substance now.
Yeah.
Like there's something more going on for her. I'm actually interested in her character now beyond the side characters. And I want to read book 2 to see if she's going to be this psycho, like you've said.
Yeah.
See if she's going to be this crazy character.
I'm intrigued. Yeah. Given that she was a fairly like sort of boring-ish character.
She was boring,
the whole way through. Okay.
Oh, she was. Well, we might have to reassess maybe next month when we do our TBR jar pulls whether we put this one back in the jar to be randomly pulled or whether we can't wait. We need to know what happens next.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Should we rate? We got to rate it.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3.5. Oh, I love that we have the same rating. This doesn't occur much.
If not for the ending, it was definitely heading for 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it was always sitting at around a 3 for me because I felt like it was a really good YA novel. Like if I was a young teenager reading this, which is I guess the audience for this sort of book, I think I would have really enjoyed it. But because I just felt like I needed a bit more as an adult. So I gave it a little bit of grace for that as well. And
True.
Look, I liked it. I mean, I gave Trial of the Sun Queen, I think, 3 stars, and it was better than that. So
yeah, I think I gave that 2.5. But again, that
did.
was another very easy reading. So maybe I shouldn't be so hard on these ones.
No, you got to be honest. You've got to be honest. All right.
Yeah.
And do you know what? After the ending too, I initially gave it 4 stars. So my notes have 4 stars just because that ending
really
shook me.
Yeah.
But the more I sat with it, the more I was like, oh, no, it was a 3.5. It was just a really good ending.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the Mindf series by St. Abbey. Now, this is a 5-book series, but the books are really short, only about 100 pages long. If you look at this is the entire series in one book. So it's pretty short. And each book ends in an epic cliffhanger. So it's really easy to binge. And the synopsis can really be summarized just in a couple of sentences. It follows Lana, who is a serial unaliver, and Logan, who is the FBI agent investigating the unaliving that Lana is doing. Oh my God, so intense. Before we go into what we thought of this book, I do have to say, check your trigger warnings. This series is very dark. It's all right in sort of the first 1 to 2 books, but then as you get to book 3, 4 onwards, it gets dark. So check your triggers. We're talking things like dubcon, non-con, unaliving, SA.
Castrating.
So, yes, if you're not sure of what any of those also acronyms mean, I encourage you to look them up before you read this book. And this was our dark romance choice for the month. So neither of us, as far as I'm aware, you haven't read a dark romance book before. And this was sort of considered entry level into dark romance,
God.
which sort of shocks me a bit. And it had stellar reviews on Goodreads. I guess I'll just go into my first impressions.
Yep.
I could not put this book down. Holy, oh my God. Like, this book had me spiraling from the beginning. This was the kind of book that I would wake up and be so excited to read. I'd be staying up late at night. I could not put it down. I'm abandoning the kids. I'm abandoning the husband. Like,
I could tell when I kept getting messages from you. Have you started? Have you started? Have you started? Have you started? No, I haven't started yet. Have you started? Have you started?
I loved it way more than I thought I would. And normally I'm not a dark reader. I don't enjoy a dark setting.
I think
generally.
because there was still, like, as dark as it is, there is still this like sweet romance that goes through it. Like the actual romance and the personal connections between the people who are still alive. There's like a real connection there, and there's a real warmth. It's not sort of these manipulative, dark relationships even among the friendlies. Yeah. So I think that probably maybe that's why it's an entry level dark. Like dark things happen, but there's core good, honest, like loving people, which gives it a bit more of a like maybe a positive vibe if that can.
Yeah, look, I think there's dark themes, but I think a lot of dark romances, like you've got stalker romances, you've got the male main character has certain kinks in the bedroom that could be considered quite dark. There's none of that in this.
Yeah.
It's more the history of the characters that is quite dark and how they became who they are today. That's the dark part.
And then what they're willing to do in their quest for revenge. There's some dark things there. Actually, based on the covers, so your cover of the book you held up before is very different to, because I listened to the audiobooks for this. Actually, I had it on Kindle and I had it on audiobook. But the covers of mine individual books, which maybe, because you read them individually first, didn't you? Maybe
I did. I read them individually on my Kindle. I hate the individual covers.
Yeah. I was like,
they put me off the series.
Same, because all of the 5 I saw, which maybe were the same, but it's just this chick wearing this like very skimpy sort of lingerie, and I was just like, what am I going to be reading? I thought there's going to be some weird kinky bedroom stuff with all sorts of things happening that I'm just like, this is not my cup of tea. And then there's none of that at all. I thought, man, they've got to change but your cover there with just a bloody knife, that's much better.
Yeah.
Just stick
and
to
there's
that.
there's an alternate cover as well, and it's like just the apple with the nails, and it basically takes up the full cover. That's the alternate cover. But yeah, the individual books, I was like opening them up on my Kindle, because I have a setting on my Kindle too where when it goes on lock, the cover just shows up as the lock screen. And I was I need to hide this.
Yeah. Well, that cover's better than the others, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was the same. I was hooked from as soon as I started it, because I ended up getting it initially on my Kindle. And then because I feel like there's a lot of times when I can't read my Kindle when I'm out exercising or driving in my car. Obviously, I can't read then. So I was so addicted. I had to also get it on Audible so I could sort of listen when I was in the car, then read when I was at home, and then listen when I was on my run so I could get through it quicker, because I thought it was fantastic. I couldn't put it down. It was unexpectedly fantastic. I didn't think I would be so into it. I loved the relationship between our 2 main characters. Obviously, Lana has got a lot to hide from Logan. And the way she hides it, and the way they sort of, I guess, the way the plot unfolds with obviously her going ahead and, taking out her revenge, merging back into life with Logan and then life away from Logan. I just thought it was brilliantly done. Like the side characters, bringing Hadley in. So we have there's obviously like Lana has a helper that is there, I guess, helping her undertake her revenge. Hadley is one of Logan's offsiders that helps on the FBI team. The way the 4 of them sort of intersect and come together, it's brilliant.
Yeah, it was really good. And the way that humour was wrapped into the story as well, as particularly book 1, the banter between Logan and Lana, I was laughing out loud.
Yeah.
It was so good. And it was just this book. There was not a single plot hole. I couldn't think of any plot holes. It was so well thought out.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Anyway, I have thought about this book every day since I put it down.
Oh, really?
The ending was hard for me. There was a part of it, how do I say this without spoiling the ending? I struggled to put Logan in a nice light after that.
Oh, okay.
But I came around to it because I understand reasoning and whatever. So I initially found what happened to Lana in the ending quite tough in terms of her relationship with Logan. But I came around. My only criticism too with this book was the epilogue. Did you listen to the epilogue on audiobook?
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy that. I thought that was silly. I don't know. I didn't love that. That's my only critique.
Yeah, there was one thing about the epilogue I didn't enjoy, and that was there's like a situation that happens on the boat at the very end.
Yeah.
And the actual thing that was happening, I was okay with that. I was like, oh, yep, okay, this is her purpose in life. This is what she was going to do. What I didn't agree with was how sort of excited and joyous she was about it. I felt like that went completely against her character. Yeah, so she talks a lot during the book about how every time she kills, it steals a piece of her soul, and she needs to come back to Logan to sort of like become human again and soft and loving and all this sort of stuff. So there was parts of the ending I thought just that's not the Lana that we've read about for 5 books.
I did enjoy the ending, but I just didn't. I could have been like, nah, with the epilogue. But that was such a minor part for me for this book.
Yeah.
Overall, I
I recommend.
Loved it.
Yeah. if you're into any sort of revenge story, particularly where characters are going to step into not even the grey area but the full black area to just go lethal, then this is the book for you. And if you can handle a little bit of blood and gore.
If you're looking for a different genre too, like you just want to dip your toes in, just want to dabble in a different genre like we're doing right now, oh my God, this is so good. Or if you have a book hangover as well, because you're just like, oh, I just finished something really good. Like nothing is going to measure up. I've just had all these books that are just falling flat.
Because it's very easy reading, even though it's heavy reading in spots. It's not hard to read. There was one or two like 5:30 a.m. runs I went on when it was still dark outside, and I thought, I'm not gonna listen. I'm gonna just listen to music today instead. If it felt like and it wasn't even very scary, but running alone at 5:30 in the morning, lots seems scarier than it is.
Yeah, agreed.
All right,
so should we give our rating?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5 stars.
4.5.
Oh, 4.5. Damn, she's hard to please.
I know. But only because I think, for me, as much as I loved it, I do wonder whether I would read it again.
Yeah, okay, fair
knowing
enough.
everything that happened. Like, I think for me to give it 5 stars would have to be the sort of book where I would finish it and then almost willingly be happy to go and read it again. Because it felt like it, my brain chemistry has been changed by the book. I'm just going to read it again. So I would very rarely give out a 5-star. Like some of SGMs would be 5-star. Fourth Wing, I think I reread that fairly quickly, like at least in the next month or so.
Yeah.
But this one, I just couldn't see myself going for a reread in the next few months. As much as I loved it and would 100% recommend it.
Yeah. I think I'll reread it for sure. I think I'd love to reread it. I think I'll struggle with the dark themes again, rereading those, but otherwise I even bought the paperback and I read it on my Kindle, and that's a sign how much, like, for me,
listen to the audiobook next. That was good, the audiobook.
Oh, I'll have to. Because I do love a reread using an audiobook. I've done that with Throne of Glass. I did it with, who else did I do it with? I can't remember, but I've done it with Throne of Glass. So I do love an audiobook reread. For this one, I even just want to say this, for me, this goes beyond 5 stars. Like, this has entered my God tier favorite reads of all time. I loved it that much. And it sent me into a spiral of dark romance now. Like, I want that kick again.
We only have one more dark romance on our list, I think. So we'll have to, in your spiral, look up some more suggestions.
I have about 15 recommendations. Cool. I have so many, but I will say
I've recommended this book to a few people. When I went to my book club last week, and I had not read the book for book club, but I said, "Hey, don't worry, I've got a better book."
Pick this one up. But I went away to Byron and I read the 3rd Crescent City book, and I also picked up another dark romance. Just a fun. It was very different to the Mindf series. It was a mafia romance, and I loved that one as well. But that was just a very fun, bingeable, 300-page, lots of romantic tension, focused more on the romance. So it was nothing
too dark.
Brain chemistry changing, wasn't too dark. The dark aspect was just, it was part of the mafia. So obviously there's people being unalived and whatever, but
unalived. God, I just can't get used to having to use that word.
It is so weird.
I love it. You do it with a straight face. I'd be like, I told Matt, my husband, last night that we're not allowed to say cereal blah. We have to say cereal unaliver. And he was like, oh my God.
But yeah, I have heaps of recommendations now. And like for Mother's Day, I went to Harry Hartog's and I picked up another dark romance, but apparently this one is really, really, really dark. So I actually don't know when I'll pick it up. It's called Insatiable.
What's it about?
Well, initially I thought
it doesn't look very big either.
No, it's tiny. Initially I thought it was just recommended everywhere, but Lee Rivers is supposed to be like one of the dark romance authors. But then I was reading the back to Mum and I'm like, oh my God, this is a stalker.
Oh.
So now I don't know if I'll read it because I want to get into dark romance now after the Mindf series, but I think I would limit it to like mafia romances, dark past, that sort of thing. I don't think I'll
I
ever
guess
get
it
on board
depends
with
whether,
stalkers.
because the Mindf series, whatever we have to call it, the romance itself wasn't dark. Like the storyline is dark,
Yeah.
and then the romance is like a little light bubble. I think I would struggle where the actual, because in my mind, a dark romance, there's got to be sort of like some emotional or physical abuse in there.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I don't actually know what the definition of a dark romance is, but that I would really struggle with.
Agreed. I don't want to read that. I want to read everything else that dark romance encompasses, but not that. Not about it. So anyway, we shall see. Apparently there's another dark romance too where it's apparently supposed to be good. I don't know if it's as good as the Mindf series, but both the main characters are serial unalivers. So I'd be interested in putting that on our list. Anyway, I'm obviously trying to chase the high. It was so good.
It was good.
I was going to ask you too, did you hear about what happened to the author on the Mindf series?
Literally just today I read that she had died. Did you know that? I don't know anything about it.
I did some digging and apparently she tried to unalive her husband and he unalived her back.
Oh, no way. That just gave me goosebumps. So when? Because when, I don't even know, I can't remember how long the book written. Does it say?
Good question. She's written other works as well.
Hang on. So all of these dark books she writes gave her inspiration to try and kill her husband?
It was published in 2016. And so she's got two pen names, right? They're not her real name. St. Abbey isn't her real name. And neither is C.M. Owens, which is her other pen name. But the dedication to this book, right, gives me chills. This is for the ones who lost their voice. This is for the ones who wish they could be Lana. This is for the ones people still whisper about. This is for the ones who fight every single day to forget you're not alone.
Oh, so she's obviously
to me, I
suffered
feel like
a lot of trauma in her past.
Yeah, I think this is, I don't know, that's just a theory. I know nothing about it, but I just feel like that book might be more about herself than it is about...
Shivers. That gives me shivers.
Yeah. So I'm very suspicious about the
could you find much
circumstances.
on the real story when you Googled it? Did it say how she tried to unalive her husband and how he in turn did it to her?
It said how they were unalived, but it doesn't go into intent or the story behind it. And her family has come out and said that it's a tragic accident.
I'm not sure how you can accidentally do that.
No. So, I mean...
Oh my gosh. That just sort of, I don't know, it just sort of makes the book all that more creepy. If you think that the author is, like, there's some real, I don't know, substance behind the words. Whoa.
Obviously, I'm being very suspicious, but I'm like, that dedication and then the circumstances. And just that book was so well done and thought out without any plot holes. Just made it seem all that
could
more
also
real.
be that she was a psychologist in another life, or she, had a lot, someone close to her went through trauma, I suppose. Might not necessarily have been her. But yes, it sounds like she's at least had experience or been close to trauma.
I wonder if she even says it in the acknowledgements, actually.
Does she acknowledge her husband? Yikes.
Oh, here we go. On July 24th, 2021, our beloved C.M. Owens, St. Abbey, and her real name, Christy Cunning, passed away. We want to thank you all for the support, blah, 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 blah. Her main book club is still up and running to keep the love alive for all of her hard work. So I also looked into, because I was like, okay, she's an autobiography author for me now. Like, I need to read her other stuff. But I just don't know if I'd be into her other stuff, because they're all reverse harem, which is like a wide chew, so you have multiple love interests. So you might have 3 male love interests to one girl. And I don't know, I've never read anything like that before. I don't know if it's my cup of tea. So, but that's her other sort of area. So she's written a few dark series like this, and that's where she goes under St. Abbey, and she goes under C.M. Owens for her reverse harem books, where you got multiple love interests. So I don't know.
I mean, if they're as good as the one we just read, they're probably pretty brilliant, I suppose.
Yeah. I might have to look up some of the ratings and maybe add it to some of our...
see if any get as good a rating.
Yeah. Anyway.
Should we do our wrap?
Yeah. Do you want to do
You
it?
want to do it? Sure.
Oh, okay.
That is a wrap from us today. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and drop us a comment below, particularly if you have any dark romance recommendations. More on the romance than the dark, possibly, but we'll try
More on
anything.
the dark themes, I think,
we'll
rather than, yeah.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.